Every day, without thinking, she does the same small things. Opens the same chat, scrolls the same photos, checks the same playlist she hasn't updated in months. It looks meaningless, but it's not. Psychologists call these micro-habits repetitive, almost invisible actions that the mind uses to regulate emotion. According to the APA 2021 report on behavioral repetition and emotional regulation, small repeated behaviors reduce anxiety by creating a sense of control. Her brain isn't being irrational, it's being protective. Each tap, each scroll, each quiet revisit is a miniature stabilizer, a way to say, I still know what happens next. When the world feels unpredictable, predictability becomes therapy. Maybe you do this too. You reopen that message thread, even when you know nothing new is there. You linger on a memory because it's safer than the present. Try noticing it, not to stop it, but to understand it. Because these tiny rituals are emotional Morse code, the body moves while the heart explains what it needs. She's never called it coping. She just says it's a habit. But in her quiet rituals live the outlines of her emotional map, repetition where she once found warmth, rhythm where she once felt connection. Not every habit starts with intention. Some begin as survival. She checks the mirror twice before leaving. She refreshes her inbox though nothing's new. She keeps rereading one old chat because it's the only place she once felt heard. The APA 2020 guidelines on emotion regulation explain that humans create micro-patterns to self-soothe after emotional disruption. When comfort is missing externally, the nervous system builds it internally through repetition. For her, it's not obsession, it's memory therapy. She's touching traces of familiarity, retracing steps her body remembers better than her mind. Have you ever found yourself reopening an old picture and not knowing why? Try asking, what feeling was I recreating? It's rarely nostalgia, it's reassurance. Stanford University's 2021 Mindfulness and Behavioral Awareness study confirmed that naming small unconscious actions lowers stress by up to 40%. Awareness itself becomes calm, so she begins to notice the pattern of her scrolling, the way her breathing slows each time she reaches that one photo. It's her body exhaling through routine. She's not stuck in the past, she's touching stability. Microhabits aren't random, they're neurological loops. Every repetition triggers small dopamine releases. The University of Pennsylvania 2022 Microritual Reward Pathways study found that predictable sensory cues, screen glow, sound patterns, order create mild reward cycles that stabilize mood. So when she reopens that chat or arranges her desk just right, her brain records safe. She's not addicted to the act, she's addicted to relief. This explains why letting go feels impossible. Because breaking the habit means interrupting the comfort, but understanding turns guilt into grace. She stops labeling herself compulsive and starts recognizing, my nervous system is trying to help. Have you noticed one ritual that calms you every day? Maybe stirring coffee the same way, checking your door twice, scrolling the same feed before bed. Try naming it, that's step one of ownership. The APA 2021 Cognitive Habits Report describes awareness as the hinge between unconscious repetition and mindful choice. Once you see the loop, you can decide which ones still serve you. She's starting to decide, keeping the ones that anchor her, releasing the ones that trap her. Now she watches herself like a quiet scientist. Which actions drain her, which refill her? She notices that some microhabits create noise, checking notifications she already knows are empty. Others create calm, lighting a candle, washing her cups slowly. The Harvard 2022 Emotional Routine Resilience Study found that deliberate micro-rituals strengthen neural calm by transforming automatic behavior into chosen rhythm. Choice turns coping into grounding, so she starts small. She replaces late-night scrolling with stretching. She replaces checking old messages with sending one to herself. "You did enough today." Awareness turns repetition into ritual. She's rewriting her autopilot. Have you ever tried changing a small habit without force, just curiosity? Notice how resistance fades when shame isn't invited. Her mind begins trusting her again. Because every conscious repetition tells the brain, "We're safe now." Now she understands that healing doesn't always look like change. Sometimes it looks like noticing the tiny things that never left her. The APA 2020 Cognitive Habits and Emotional Maturity Report defines maturity as the capacity to sustain gentle routines that preserve internal stability. Her micro-habits are not weakness, they're quiet maintenance. She doesn't mock herself anymore for reopening that chat. She thanks the part of her that needed consistency, because those repetitions kept her steady when life didn't. They were her nervous system whispering, "Hold on, we're recalibrating." Try this for one day. Observe your smallest repeated act. Write it down. Ask, "Is this a symptom or a signal?" Then share what you discovered in the comments. You'll see how similar we all are. She now sees every micro-habit as evidence of care, proof that even in chaos, she was still trying to self-soothe. Maybe her healing isn't about stopping patterns. Maybe it's about honoring them long enough to understand what they protected. And maybe that's what growth actually looks like.